Hello and welcome to Mickey Art. Today I am going to have a bit of a play with spiral paws. But spiral paw with a Halloween difference. So let's get this record all set up and ready for its transformation. And then we will be able to get pouring, baby, get pouring. So for those of you that are keen to get some records poured on, don't want to be pouring on something that it could potentially be valuable, do what I do and find yourself a local record collector, somebody who picks up boxes and boxes of records, goes through them, pulls out the valuable ones and then throws away the rest. Get them to throw them in your direction. Whoop whoop, yay. Super grateful for my local collector. So as you saw, I've just put some clear contact paper across the back. That protects the sticker or the label. And I mean, if you want to clean up the back once you've done your painting, you certainly can. But what this does is it protects that label and makes the rest of it clean upable. On the other side, a few days ago, I painted with some Mars Black paint the label on this side to hopefully seal in the colour. And so now it's all ready to go with that hole blocked off by the contact paper, so you're not going to lose your paint. And how does it get any better than this? So the first step I'm going to do is I'm going to paint it black. I'm gonna paint it black. All my paints today are from Reeves and they have all been mixed with Floetrol and water. So I'm starting off with Mars Black just to give it a liquid base. Make sure the whole record is covered with paint. I should probably have this on my... Actually, yes, that's what I'm going to do. Didn't think of this beforehand. Noisy me. So this is a glass Lazy Susan, which as you can see I've painted in the past. And when I'm doing records, I flip it over and use the bottom, which has got little jelly rubber feet on it, which then allows me to spin it without having to glue it down. So those rubber feet just gives me that whoops, just gives me that spinability without having to have it electrified like my children's pottery wheel. There we go, that's enough. Just smooth that out with one more spin. And we can put the lid back on that because I'm not using that one anymore. So let's just check that we're still nicely centered. We are. Awesome. So what I'm going to do, as I said, is a spiral pour. Some of you may have watched me the other day and I was playing with these silicone muffin cases and they compress down to make the most tiny, incy-wincy little pouring thingies. without causing too much of a problem. So that's what we're going to use. And what colours are we going to do? Well, what I thought we'd do is we've got some white, dun, 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 dun. And then I've got some iridescent pouring medium, which I've mixed up as if it's a paint. Now, iridescent pouring medium has been, well, not iridescent pouring medium, iridescent medium is designed for you to add to your, if you can hear a dog squeaking in the outside, that's my friend's dog who's not excited about being tied up. It's designed to be mixed with other colours and make them all sparkly and pretty. But what I do is I mix it up as if it's one of my paints, and I can then either use it as a glistening kind of paint, or I can mix it into a pre-mixed paint and it doesn't affect the consistency of the paint. So next I'm pouring in here, and as you can see I'm pouring in on the side. That's ultramarine, and then I've got some Payne's Grey, which is pretty thick actually. Oops. Oh well. So Payne's Grey is like a blue black. So if you are going to be mixing your black with white and you want a sort of sky blue look, a sky look, that's the one to go with. So that's why I'm using that one. So now I'm going to pour through a very fine, and that Payne's Grey is far too thick, but that's okay. And just as the ultramarine comes through, just a tiny little squiggly, circly looking thing. And here comes the white. Woohoo. Awesome. All right. So now I do have some silicone in the ultramarine blue. So I'm going to give it a bit of a torch. I'm kind of noticing that it's running away from the center. So I'm going to bring that back a little bit before we start stretching it. There's also air bubbles in that Mars black as well. Let's get rid of those. See if any silicone wants to pop up before we start, so that we can stretch those cells out. No, not seeing it. But that's okay. Before I stretch it, I'm going to zoom you in so you get to see just how pretty that is. Look at this. Whee! Alright. Oh. That thing's leaning against my chair and they're falling over. Not a good deal. Alright, so let's start to stretch that out. Just going to take it round in a circle for a start off till we get out to that Mars black. Bring it back into the middle a bit. And then stretch it this way. Bring it back into the middle a bit. And stretch it this way. Just stretching. A little bit each way. Now, everybody does these things different, and please, please, please play with it yourself if you're going to have a go at this. Watch lots of different artists working and see how they do it. Play with it. Explore what's fun for you, what works for you, what results you like. And then let go of all your judgments of what it should be like. Because if you have a point of view about what it should look like and it turns out different, guess what? You're gonna not like it as much when it actually could be the most beautiful thing in the world. I have learnt this from experience, guys. The number of times I have gone, oh, that's disgusting, throw it away, yuck. And people watching my videos have gone, wow, that's so pretty. And I realized that if I hadn't judged it or decided beforehand what it should look like, then, just fishing out some bits, by the way, then I would have been able to see the beauty in it at the time and not got all huffy and swiped and thrown it away or whatever. So all the decisions and judgments and conclusions about what your painting should look like, we'll let those all go, please. And you know what, guys? Letting go of your decisions and your judgments and your conclusions is as simple as making the choice to let it go. It really is just a choice. Everything is just a choice. Let it go, let it go. I am really, really loving the way this is stretching and staying and swirling and doing its thing. My eldest son and I have been watching some Doctor Who reruns. I've never done Doctor Who before. Lots of friends that absolutely love it. Like cult love it, type love it. And I've never ever sat down and watched it. So when Aiden started to get into it, I was like, I'll check it out. And this is starting to look a little bit like a TARDIS spinning in a vortex. Maybe. What do you see? I don't have a lot of paint in the black areas, so it's not sliding fast, but that's okay. It's given me a lot of control. So I really want to stretch this out a little bit more. So sorry guys, it's taking so long. Sorry but not sorry. Do you know what I mean? Sorry but not sorry. The interesting thing is I can't actually really see very well where the Mars black ends and the Payne's grey begins. Okay. Come on. Paint, you can do this. I just want to smooth this out. Maybe I should use the stick. There is so not enough paint on here to do what I want it to do. It looks like the outside of a shell of a sea creature-y type seashell. Alright. It's not quite what I had in mind. That's okay. Which way around do I need it before I start doing the other bits? Spooky. Alright, I'm going to give it a little bit of a torch while I think about this because it's Plenty of air bubbles. It's moving now. Maybe the heat warmed it up. Now, I want it to drip on the paper, not on the Lazy Susan. That's looking even more like a shell. Do I let it, the colour start to drip off, or do I leave it?
Hello, YouTube.
Hello, darling. What do you reckon?
Pretty good.
You reckon it looks like it's got a ghost in the middle?
Oh. You know how Dad used one of them for his steam photo?
Yeah.
I might use that one for my steam photo.
Cool.
This has some dragon wings to them.
Dragon wings.
Yeah. Ghost dragon. I'll go to my boxes too.
Okay, cool.
Fun.
Bye. So that's my youngest. He's nearly 14. Just looking to see if there's any edges that need a little bit more paint on them. So this is one of those paintings where I had a plan. And as I was saying at the beginning of the video, get rid of all your decisions and judgments about what it should look like and what it will end up as. And I've got this thing where it's like, oh, but our challenge for the month is Halloween on the Acrylic Pouring for Fun Facebook group. I have to make this into something that's Halloween based. No, I don't. It's cool if it is, but I don't have to. You don't have to do anything. It's something I've been trying to teach my children. Except tidy your room when I tell you to. I'm intrigued to see how the iridescent medium comes out, because there's definitely a few rings of that in here, but I'm intrigued to see how that looks when it dries. But I'm going to leave this alone. I'm not going to do what I had planned to do. I'm going to do that on the next one. So, if you want to see what I had planned to do for this one, check out the next video. Subscribe. But as it stands, I'm going to leave this one to dry. And go from there. So I'm going to put this away to dry. Oh, but I'm going to give you a close-up first. Oh, the dog's starting to whine again. So let's bring you down. So it looks like an oyster shell kind of casing to me. That's what it looks like on the outside of an oyster shell. It's also kind of a swirly, ghostly like thing in here, but it's nowhere near enough of a ghost to qualify as Halloween. But check out these rings. It's just so pretty. But then I like blue. It's pretty. I like it. I like it. I like it a lot. Do you like it? I like it. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to leave it to dry on a slight angle and see if it moves any more before it dries off. But so I'll be back when this is dry, which your time is 3, 2, 1. All right, it's dry. Yay! So it's dried basically exactly the same. The tilting while it was drying didn't change anything. The one thing I'm a little bit miffed about is the iridescent medium hasn't really done much, to be honest. If you know it's there, you can see a few little glinty bits. Maybe under the right lighting it'll just pick up. Okay, I don't know if you can see that. Let's see. Zoom in, maybe. You can just sort of see a little bit of sparkle in places. which does, you know, it gives it some depth, it gives it some interest, but yeah, it's not doing much poppy pop pop whoopee yay yay. Poppy pop pop yippee yay yay yay. I do like this though, I really like this. This is cool. And what I did notice is if you have it that way, it kind of does look like a, zoom you back out a little bit, it looks like a wave curling over, but not really much. Yeah. With it being off center like that, I'm not sure what I want to do with it, really. Let me zoom you right back out so we've got I mean, that way around it can be all sorts of things hanging from the surface. That way around it kind of looks a little bit like what I was trying to create, which is like a portal-y type thing with something appearing in the mist at the back of the portal. Kind of vaguely has that look. I don't know. What I would love from you guys is some information about what you would do with this. If you'd poured this piece and you were looking at it and going, okay, what else? What would you add? What would you do? What would you contribute to it? Would you just leave it completely as it is? I get there's something else required in this piece, and I'm not sure what it is. So, if you guys have got any ideas, I'd love to hear them in the comments, and if one of them jumps out and goes, oh, me, then I'll use that one. Otherwise, I'm just going to put it on a shelf and ask it to let me know when it's ready to have whatever it's ready to have. And I really like it. I love the textures. I love the multiple lines. And what else is possible? And hey, if you would like to own this as it is, right here, right now, maybe sealed, but just as it is, let me know that too. I mean, look at it that way. That almost looks like a ghostly shape there, sort of, you know, Halloween-y type, which was partly my target. That way around, it looks like, to me, it looks like a wave curling over. But yeah, let me know what you see, and let me know if you've got any suggestions about what I could add to it, change, or do with it that would create something even greater. So there you go, guys. That is that painting done to this portion. It's not finished, and I know that. It may just be that it wants to have photos of this used in something that's I'm not even aware of yet. I'm so totally willing to allow it to tell me, and for you guys to give suggestions. Like, you know, ask and you shall receive is true. I'm asking, and whether it comes from you guys in the comments or whether it comes through a flash of inspiration in the middle of the night, I have no problem, whichever way it comes. So come join us on Acrylic Pouring for Fun Facebook group. Subscribe if you're liking my video and you haven't subscribed yet. I'd love to have you come and play. I post videos almost every day. I'm not going to say guaranteed every day, but almost every day. And sometimes life gets in the way, or paintings just don't dry and I can't do the end shot for you. So subscribe, come play with us, see what else is possible, and what magic can we create together? That's always a cool question. So how much fun can you have until we meet again? I adore you all, and I will see you in another video. Bye bye.